Hey guys, it's Plague Wind here. So this is the next mission that occurs where you see Biv-On now has a full entourage of plague bearers that are surrounding him. And the stone which gives the clues to the actual location of where the key is. So as he gathered all of his strength and forces, Biv-On starts the incantation. And as the chants of his brethren grow louder and louder, a deep miasma of filth and decay starts to form. And as it forms and gets to its zenith, Biv shouts the last parts of the incantation, and there arises his patron, Mamon. Mamon steps forth out of the filth and the mire, looks around and says, "My children, I have come at last, and I am here to help gather the key of Nurgle. I am personally going to see to it that this key is retrieved and brought back to the great Papa himself." The loyalists, on the other hand, are actually looking onward to this. And Lun'Toth, he looks on, as well as the rest of the Space Wolves, in awe, knowing that this is really, really getting bad. We need to get off this planet. We need to get off this area right now. And I need to report back to the Great Wolf what I have seen. As he spoke, Mamon overheard him. And he looked over at the loyalist side and chuckled and said, "Is this what you bring to oppose me? I will enjoy watching you also become members of my great horde. My sons, my children, make them a part of us, but do it slowly. I want to enjoy their suffering." Turn 1 coming up. Hey guys, that was the end of turn 1. So I'm going to kind of give you an idea of what's going on. So remember the rule that Biv-On did if you watched the last video, that he can summon plague bearers, 2d6 plague bearers. But at this moment he can't. And the reason why is on his turn, he's only going to, in this particular game, he's only going to start in turn 2. So that's a little slight change, because his patron is on the table already. And his dispel to do anything, because Mamon is actually on the table, is a 4-up instead of a 5, because Mamon is his actual patron lord. So that's one change. Also, the Lun'Toth, he has his banishment, which he cast, and he was successful, and he got rid of 7 plague bearers, which is an unlimited range, so he's kind of safe back here. And also, he can cast on their resistance. So, but he can only cast that twice a game. And resistance, what it does, it allows them to resist Nurgle's Rock if they're within 6 inches. But like I said, he can only cast it twice a game, and it can be dispelled. So that's another different change. For these guys here, they're trying to get off this planet. And Lun'Toth, he'd already heard the incantation. He knows who's here, and he has an idea of where the location, based upon he heard from the inscription on the stone. So he's trying now to get off, but there's a problem. They can't just get off here because they have no vehicles. So they have called back up to the ship to try to get help. So right now it's going to be a countdown from 6 all the way down to basically 2. So we're on turn 1. And he just rolled, and there was no 6, so they can't get off here at this time. The next turn will be a 5 all the way down. It's only going to go 5 turns, so if they can get off, if they don't, they got a lot of problems. And the secret could actually die with them, so this will be interesting. So turn 1, going back into it, the guys move. They're using under the old rules of slow and purposeful, so they move 4 inches. Lun'Toth, he actually was able to dispel 7 guys, and the sniper shot at him, did absolutely nothing. So that was the end of turn 1. Turn 2 coming up. Hey guys, that was the end of turn 2. It was pretty uneventful. The loyalist shot at the plague bearers, but really nothing occurred. And both the runic priests and the herald cancel each other's abilities out. So, like I said, uneventful. Still waiting to see what happens. And they also weren't able to call for help to get out of this area. Turn 3 coming up. Hey guys, that was into the turn 3. Like I said, this is a pretty quick mission. And there was no damage that was caused. And also, this side was not able to banish anyone. And the herald and Lun'Toth, they still keep canceling each other out. But as you see, the advancement keeps coming. And again, they're still not able to get out of this area. Turn 4 coming up. This may start getting a little bit more enthusiastic. Hey guys, that was into turn 4. And these guys are getting a little bit closer. They were able to actually banish 9 of the plague bearers. But the chaos side was not able to generate any more plague bearers. But as you can see, they're starting to get a little bit closer. It's going to start getting a little bit more interesting. Turn 5 coming up. Hey guys, that was into turn 5. And as you can see, the Grey Hunters are actually able to escape the area. But we still have 2 units that are left. And they're going to need to try to do something to get out of here. Because as you can see, the herald was able to summon more plague bearers. And they are definitely getting closer. We'll see what happens next. Turn 6 coming up. So that was the end of turn 6. And as you can see, the snipers are also gone as well. Leaving only this small unit of space wolves to deal with this oncoming horde. And they were able to get really close, but they failed their charge. And also the space wolves cast to make sure that the rock couldn't affect them. This is the last turn. They need to do something to get off this area. Turn 7 and the final turn coming up. So hey guys, that was the end of the game. And actually it started to get a little bit interesting. These guys actually failed, so they didn't get off world. So that was a problem. And the plague bearers got really, really close. But they failed their charge by 1 because these guys' Overwatch made it just short, which was like, man, that was the highlight of this turn. So that was it, guys. Thanks for watching. I know this one wasn't as most exciting, but it still follows the fluff. Hope you guys watched it. Take care.